I was talking to a good friend and former colleague from Cognizant last night. He was an AVP in the business and is now running a really smart, experience-based startup in the States. Um, and we were talking about Planet Experience and CX. And he said, the challenge to me, I've spent 20 years in CX. I've spent 20 years in this industry trying to get people to think in terms of the customer first. And even now, it's incredibly difficult to get companies to go on that journey. And I said, well, yeah, I'll take that. But it was 20 years ago that we started this conversation. I think we're at the point now where it's the beginning of that 20-year cycle where planet experience becomes the important deciding factor in your success. And one interesting example to think about was Fairphone. Now, Fairphone is a very smart, very ecologically sound green mobile phone, which is designed to be of as low impact as possible on the environment and as positive as possible for the environment. So it does all the PX stuff exceptionally well, but it's a balancing act. You can't just do the PX and that be your only factor of success. You have to get the other experience factors right too, the other dimensions of experience. So you have to get the customer experience right, yes. And as you scale, you have to get the employee and workplace experiences right too. But let's focus on that CX part. We've said for 20 years, companies are still struggling to get that right. I think that's true. So I think in the case of Fairphone, I was a real advocate for that brand and had two of their phones. And I'm afraid I ended up abandoning Fairphone because the experience for me as a customer was not strong enough. So even though the PX dimension was massively strong for them, the CX, they hadn't developed significantly enough for me at that point. Now, I think they're still on their journey, so I'm not writing them off at all. I think they're developing their CX all the time and building out a better product for it. So go check them out. But the point is that if you get all of those things right, you can start charging a premium. Imagine if an Apple phone was built on the same principles. They've got the CX brilliantly right. One assumes they've got the EX right in Apple and WX to a large extent. And they, if they added getting the PX right as well, what premium might people pay for that? I think of Elon Musk and his race to being now $100 billion US company in the motor industry, and that's a first. And that's been built with PX at its heart. It's been very much about, well, how am I benefiting the environment by doing this? How am I saving the biosphere? How am I making the planet my partner? And now he's able to charge a premium for that. And he's set up his whole business so that PX is now one of the dimensions of success, which means that as he builds out the services that will inevitably follow on top of this, making a utility out of electric vehicles, the services that he'll build out on top of that, you'll pay a premium for because you've already bought into his whole philosophy and you believe in it. That's part of the CX2. But also, he's got an organisation that is structured to deliver against that PX at every step, which gives him the competitive advantage versus the incumbents, the guys that are struggling along behind, who might be getting their CX right, but they haven't got the PX part of it at all core to their business. So he's already one success story that shows us that PX can make huge commercial benefits for you. There's going to be plenty more. It's the start of this journey. I'm now starting to think about how we structure and how we measure the effectiveness of PX in a business. And I'm going to be sharing more on that over the next few days. I would love to hear from you if you're working in this space or if you've got a challenge that we could try to solve in this space. Thank you.